grand finals is here. I'm Tools, that is Tony, and it is time. Team Accelerate going up against the winner side, Team Breaker. Lat AM versus North America in our Halo Hub BTB Invitational presented by 7-Eleven Canada. It's been a fantastic day of competition, and for the first time, we're going to see best of fives, and on a map that we haven't seen yet, in Insolence. What is it, Insolence? Sorry, I feel like, yeah, Insolence is going to be our map today. Tony, I'm very excited. This is the first time I'm going to see this map alongside with you in the broadcast today.
Yeah, new map, and to be honest with you, all of this feels kind of new to me. Like, I feel like I'm mostly a ranked 4v4 player, so this whole tournament has definitely been an eye-opener how fun big team battle could be. I promise on my next grind, I'm definitely ending the night with some big team battle, which honestly might be tonight at this point, because it's been a lot of fun watching this tournament so far.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna go one better. I'm gonna remove the grind. No more 4v4 grind. It's a BTB grind, and then I end my night with some 4v4 HCS. That's my change right now. We're taking over the big team battle world. I would love for this to be more of a normal thing, to have these sort of invitationals or open BTB events. If you guys want that as well, just stay active. Follow Halo Hub on Twitter. Follow LVT on Twitter. Let us know all of your feedback about today's competition, whether you enjoyed it, and just really just show the love on social media. It helps everyone see that, hey, this was the right choice to do a BTB tournament. Keep them coming, and our grand finals is starting now. Insolence loading on up.
Grand finals, it's Team Breaker going up against Team Accelerate, a rematch of your winners bracket round 2, which by the way did end up going into a game number 3, and we almost ended up seeing an attrition tiebreaker at one point with how close these two teams were matched up. But of course it was Team Breaker that got the win over Team Accelerate. Will we see the same outcome here in your grand finals?
Here we go. You got some lifts to your left and right, and it flies you right towards that Hydra. Hydra is going to be so important to stopping some of the vehicle control on this map.
Hydra shredding that Warthog. Oh my gosh, gonna need a new paint job after that. A double kill coming in out of Axel Dark, and now it looks like Team Breaker have a Warthog of their own, and possibly the only Warthog on the map. A melee kill coming out of Drunk, almost a back-to-back into the sniper shot for the double kill, making a triple kill, and almost able to get the overkill. Drunk almost single-handedly stopping that flag.
Yeah, but the flag is still on its way. Team Accelerate keeping this thing moving. So, oh my god, great shot by Accelerate. Looking to get the flag back home, and oh my god, you just see Team Breaker constantly flying numbers, but eventually the flag goes back towards its home. Beezy with the final kill in order to get them back to even.
So far, about a minute and a half worth of gameplay, and man, has it been exciting so far. And whoa, 4 kills in a row coming out of Team Accelerate right there. Absolutely shredding the defenses and the shield of Team Breaker, and they're continuing to push forward here. Team Accelerate started to get into groove. Boom ends up with the flagpole, and looks like he's going right in for a Warthog play. Not sure if they're in position just yet, as the rest of Team Breaker looking to make it as hard as possible for Team Accelerate.
I love seeing that top-down view. You get to see some of the topography of the map, and it's like it almost is reminiscent of like some Halo 5 Warzone slash Valhalla vibes to me. I'm really liking the design, and I love the crashed Scarab over there to jump around in.
Why can't we use the Scarab in
why was the Scarab not in Halo? It wasn't even like featured. Those were my favorite missions back in the day, you know, getting on that Scarab and making it look like the one on the map right here.
Not only excellent shots coming out of our player on screen here, but excellent job staying alive and just buying so much time for the rest of his team to come off a spawn, get in position, continuing to put the pressure onto Team Breaker. That flag does end up being pulled by Lore, but again, just going at the shields, going at the offenses of Team Breaker. And now with this return coming in, that might be enough for Team Accelerate to start to get aggressive. I know there's a Warthog play already coming into action. Looks like Wolfrain might have lost his gunner on that Warthog. Hopefully get back to his team spawn and reset a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna see how important position is on this map in particular, right? Just because there's not actually that much space in between each other's flags, but there's a lot of ground that blocks that cover, right? And you have to take unique routes, making sure that you're on top with each other and looking at the same things, having the same position is going to be so important. Then also getting your Warhogs in play. Manny trying to take this one home. Whoa. And look at this, the Ghost is on its trail, but that flag looks more and more likely. Can the Gunner withstand the Ghost? And the Ghost, I think, is just going to have to give up on this flag for now. Manny looking to punch this one home.
We'll make sure that flag does end up going through, and yes it is. Manny awarded the cap for that one. A 1-0 start here. Whatever, about maybe 2 minutes worth of gameplay so far, so a pretty quick capture coming out of Team Accelerate. And now we're going to try to find out if Team Breaker can answer right back here. One way to do that is control the skies, and of course it's Isify, one of the best Banshee players in the tournament, already making his presence known.
Yeah, Isify, there's not a lot of cover for him up high in the sky, but if he gets down low, he can use those rocks as potential cover pieces. I really like the dynamic this creates with the Banshee. It makes it have to fly a little bit lower to the ground in order to play for that cover, but still a lot of in and out ability to come in, do strafing runs, but Accelerate so far, and that other Banshee has been keeping him at bay.
Banshee's so important. Neither one of them want to sacrifice their own Banshee without at least taking out their opponents. Flipping up in the air, trying to avoid as much damage as possible. The damage continues to come in. Now forced to back down, and it looks like that one's about to blow up here soon. So he hops right on out and looks to put down damage with the Bandit Rifle, taking down one as Druck ends up going down as well. Team Breaker tie things up in one apiece.
In the back finds that BR. I love how that BR is situated into the base. A lot of thought and care being given to this map, and in about 5 seconds we'll see this Ghost come on up. And Isify, he's not only a great Banshee driver, he's also a great Ghost pilot as well. Looks like that Ghost is going to be a little bit longer on for the respawn, but his ability to whip around on that mouse and keyboard, we've seen some crazy plays from him and the Ghost.
I thought the Ghost was camo for a second there. I was like, wait, what's going on here? No, Isify, Ghost in hands, and now we get to see truly if his Ghost play is as good as his Banshee play. And so far, I'm loving it. Accelerate, trying to get close enough to get the Jack, but not gonna happen. The rest of the cavalry from Team Accelerate coming in, and the Rockets will take down that Ghost player. And what's crazy is that the rest of Breaker is still in here. You got another Ghost coming in. That's going to be Nate God. A second Warthog coming in, fully loaded, and Team Breaker continuing to pressure Team Accelerate with all of these vehicles.
Yeah, there is one player from Team Breaker in position to pull out a flag, but the Banshee in the sky once again might make all the difference. The skewer shot takes down the Warthog for now, but Extreme Breaker has control. The Banshee in the skies for his team. Onboard's going to go toe for toe with him. It's a dogfight up in the air.
And Carson Lutz with that skewer gets the double kill onto the Warthog, but it's Extreme Breaker still man in the skies with that Banshee. Not for long though, ends up on fire, and somehow Onboard taking himself out. Carson Lutz gets back smacked at Extreme Breaker. It looks like he's chasing down one player who's doing everything he can to stay alive. Of course, it's Farsight once again being creative with the equipment, but eventually going down.
Extreme Breaker trying his best to stay alive, but one step too far and eventually taken down. Nate God with a killing spree, 5 in a row for him as he try to push around whatever weapons they want with each other, giving the BR to his teammate in favor of the Stalker Rifle Ravager combination. And the Ravager might be so powerful. You see how the players are all pulling up in that back base. A good Ravager shot could really do a great area denial service for his team to get forward.
As he's trying to put pressure onto those players, it looks like some players moving on to his left. I want to say it's BZ is inactive that are moving in position, and hopefully the Stalker Rifle is going to be enough to stop them from pushing in. He is surrounded on all sides right now, but still thriving with the Stalker Rifle and Ravager combination. The Ravager runs out of bullets, active, goes right into the turret to finally take him out. The rest of Team Accelerate should be able to push forward here, tied up at 1 apiece. Less than 7 minutes for either one of these teams to try to make something happen.
Yeah, you're starting to see this game and how there's so many unique routes, right? You have the right and the left lane, which have some underneath pathways, right, to insulate yourself from the Banshee plays. But then the middle route, which is where you're going to mostly see these flag runs want to come through, or these players that want to get in position for the flag. But then you always have the danger of the vehicles finding you in those positions. Active just did something crazy. He jumped up, punched the gunner, and then whipped around and shot him for an absolute brutal kill against the chain gunner.
It looked like he almost tried to ninja the turret player right there. The fact that he was even able to get so close to him is actually crazy, but what a play coming out of Active. Eventually that Warthog does end up going down, but another 1v1, and it's Lore able to take down Drunk.
ISFI playing defense, right? It's not really about this Banshee getting into the fight and being your forward player. You want to be doing strafing runs, helping your teammates as much as possible to get forward, playing a little bit more defensive with it when you can, but you just can't be an enemy grounds for too long with this vehicle because of how weak it is.
So far, doing some strong damage onto the Warthog, and there's the assist, not quite able to take it out, but his teammates aren't there. An assist is as good as a kill in my book, as the rest of Team Breaker surrounding the map and Accelerate. Who other than the captain with the skewer to take the Banshee right out of the sky?
And I feel like the counter for the Banshee has to be priority for Team Accelerate. Every time ISFI has gotten into that Banshee, it feels like it's changed this game. The air superiority has been in their favor thus far. Drift got that 3, but I feel like the skies have been dictating so much in this game.
Rightfully so, and looks like this player's going to take to the skies with the grapple.
Every last hit,
and almost able to grapple the Banshee. He's in the play right now. Eventually that Banshee ends up exploding, but he should have been able to grapple Jacket if it was able to stay alive, and eventually the Warthog will end up taking him down. We love the thought process there to just get right up close and personal and so close to grappling and jacking that Banshee away.
Staying back, taking the one-on-one. Oh, shaky shots, but eventually Bone gets the job done. Kill for them, and really these ghosts, I don't think we've seen much of the play with them, but you have to figure a map like this has to favor the ghosts quite well. You know, how fast it is to get behind flanks. I think Team Accelerate's done a great job at coordinating with each other to ensure that they take down these vehicles quickly, but a couple of ghosts can make a huge difference for a team.
Boom, grapple jacks the ghost and splatters Extreme Breaker, was looking to steal it right back from him, and Boom gets himself a free ghost. Doesn't even say thank you. Meanwhile, this ghost is on fire and almost done with. I don't even know if grapple jacket is the play. It might just blow up by the time he's able to move forward.
Wacky, able to find those kills, but you're starting to see trade for trade. Both teams struggling to play forward onto this map right now. Really just middle ground. Oh, I don't know how that rocket missed the slope. So it must have been just steep enough, and Accelerate eventually able to find that kill.
Wow, hopefully this rocket is going to do Boom a little bit better, but so far the rocket's not getting as much value as you would want them to here in this matchup here. Banshee in the skies. Boom has to stay alive here.
You saw him get that rocket. He wanted to shoot the Banshee as it came off a spawn, but ISFI was there waiting instantly to get himself inside of that Banshee to go take to the skies, and he's got himself a dogfight against the other predominant Banshee player. Onboard gonna be able to stop it this time with the skewer shot.
The camouflage skewer is a dangerous weapon, a dangerous combination, and Envoy is able to use it to take down Isify in that Banshee. And so far, like you mentioned before, Isify has been neutralized every single time he gets anywhere near the skies. This time it's going to be Envoy awarded that one. And Carson Lute says, you know what, this one's about to blow up. I'm going to hop out here and take my leave.
Yeah, I love that these teams are matching up again because I feel like we have two of the best Banshee pilots in the game, and Isify and Carson Lute. So I'm fascinated to watch this game at minimum 3 times this map and see who's going to be the best pilot.
And by the way, you did say minimum of 3 times, guys. In case you didn't know, this is the grand finals. And even though we've been watching best of 3 series up until this point, this matchup is going to be a best of 5. So it's going to take 3 wins in order to become your champions. No bracket reset. It's either just go big or go home. And as of right now, there's one player that has a skewer here for Team Breaker. This is going to be really good. Yeah, you can't even wait to get to the action. He needs to grapple right on in to get as close as possible to the opposition.
Down. Oh no! A perfect shot, and the Warhog is down, and he's not done quite yet. Trying to find Bohm, grappling in. That player still 1 shot, slides, but Drunk with the protective rocket. Bohm survives for another day.
Beancito was able to get the double kill onto that Warthog team of players, but just barely missing out on the triple with that Bandit Rifle. The Bandit Rifle is nasty when it comes to close range. It even has a bit of mid-range potential, but from that range outside of that aim assist, it's tough. The Bandit Rifle is great, but from long range, it is not reliable.
I got both rocket and a sniper to work with. Unfortunately, those sniper shots aren't going to be able to take down that Warhog. Went for that headshot on that player instead of maybe going after that vehicle's base. I think they could have done enough damage to that Warhog to blow it up, and they would have just shot at the vehicle instead of the player.
Just 5 seconds left in regulation with the game tied up. No matter what, we will see a sudden death and overtime here. The sudden death starts right here, right now. The pie chart on screen. Dynamo Grenade flying in as the Warthog gets as close as possible to go for the return. Nobody in sight to be able to relay this flag forward. So returns coming in, and the 3 minutes in overtime starts now. Both teams have 3 minutes to capture a flag. Otherwise, it will go to a tie. And remember, all tiebreakers are settled with attrition.
Warhog up, doing as much damage as possible, but you might have to leave that gunner out, man. That Warhog might just be done. Oh, he ain't done yet. Look at this, Tony. He's trying to get away. Oh, no. He's being hunted down.
Like, some way, somehow, I'm going to get every last bit of value out of this Warthog right here. Unfired everything, almost able to get away from that engagement. Sadly, was hunted down. On the broken scarab, a lot of cover here. You get really creative with the long range shots, and anytime somebody cuts up close and personal, I can imagine kind of like juke them out just a little bit here. And oh my gosh, the shots out of Rag onto professional player Drift is going to take him out. Somehow Active ends up getting betrayed by his teammate via a splatter, so that's not good. Team Accelerate. Yeah, you know, you got some good, you got some bad, you got some ugly, and you got a little bit of everything coming out of Team Accelerate.
You can see how much action's going down on this map at all times. Accelerate back in the skies. They had 2 Banshees, but now they have 1, and now they have none. The grapple play able to get himself inside the Banshee. Look at how much things have just changed for Team Breaker, no matter seconds.
Only a minute and 22 seconds on the clock here to try to make something happen. This Banshee might be exactly what the doctor ordered. Multiple members of Team Accelerate in front of him, including Doc Holliday in that Ghost. Love that damage coming in. Rag off the screen gets himself a double kill with the rockets. Farsight following it up with a couple of kills. And looks like that grapple coming in out of nowhere. And Team Accelerate are playing for the return as fast as possible. Both teams leaving it all on the line and emptying the tank with less than a minute left. Both teams want to make something happen. And Doc Holliday not only able to survive with this Ghost, able to follow it right up with a double kill, moving in for the 3rd and even the 4th in front of him. Hold on. Team Breaker are in trouble. That flag is going to be relayed.
Oh, just at the last second, couldn't get the pull. Now 30 seconds, you have to pull out a flag to at least force extra time. Nade God has one out for his team. Team Accelerate, look how far away they are from that flag. It looks like Accelerate and the team spawning towards Scarab, but are they aware of where that flag's coming to?
Another Ghost on screen here, and like you said before, the way this map's layout is, the Ghost definitely gets so much value. There's so much cover that you can play behind. There's these long different like avenues and lanes that you can navigate here. This is a Ghost pilot's dream. But taking damage multiple times definitely is nonsense to try to get out of that situation, try to play his life, has the Warthog in front of him. That flag is in no man's land, but so is the flag here for time for Team Breaker. They have to try to play offense and defense at the same time, stopping Team Breaker from getting the flag cap while also defending the flag cap as well. It's both on the side of Team Breaker, and eventually it ends in a tie. That was a bit dangerous there, but we're moving on to game 2. And I believe that's going to be a little bit of team control action, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I believe we're going to team control as well. And I thought it was really interesting to see how much of a powerful play the Ghost was towards the end of that game. That Ghost was tanking everything and prevented that flag from going home. It was very close to getting into that home base. I think maybe Team Breaker getting a little ahead of themselves on that run, holding that flag, trying to get it there as fast as possible, where they could have maybe waited just a little bit longer to go that last little bit to make sure you had teammates around you to prevent that Ghost from having so much of an impact.
The one thing that we noticed right off the rip was Isify not able to get as much value out of that Banshee that he's been getting time and time again. And you mentioned it before, you know, it might be a strategy of Team Accelerate that the moment that Banshee hits the skies, everyone focuses on it, and I think that's making it a bit harder for Team Breaker. Like Team Breaker, normally they run through the Banshee, they make sure they get their kills, they play right through it, and usually it captures, you know, one after another. One turns to 2, turns to 3, and then 4. But in this game, they were not able to do the same thing, tied up in one apiece. Very uncharacteristic like for Team Breaker, especially when Isify has the Banshee.
I love that skewer shot. The ballista for the double kill. So many great moments in that game. So much vehicle play. Once again, I just love the design of the map. I wonder if we have a replay available that just has the top down so we can look at it and kind of dissect what it kind of is about and where we can see some of these lanes. But I really am impressed with the design of all the Forge maps that came out in today's tournament, Tony.
Yeah, no matter what, like whether it was the last one, I'm trying to remember the names of it, I do apologize, I can't remember the name of the last one we just saw, but whether it was this one with the movement with the Ghost, the other one beforehand where it had that beautiful Banshee play in, and it was so tough to deal with going into those circles and around the map. It was incredible. You're seeing this right now where if you're a Ghost and you're able to play around all that cover, you're able to zoom across towards the mid, go under the tunnels, into the caves. Like, I can only imagine you would have so much fun just driving around the Ghost. Forget playing BTB. I would just want to drive around this map in a Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting how, so you can see that the bases are pretty close to each other, but the lanes are more horizontal, right? So it's almost like you see where Druk is at the bottom of your map. That almost feels like the natural home, but instead the homes are to the side, right? So it's very interesting how hard it is to like pull a flag through to the opponent's base. It's not necessarily this easy task, and I think it was interesting. One time we saw that Scarab spawn is absolutely a spawn that you can pull out. I'm very interested to see how the flow of this map will change on Total Control. Obviously, you're not going to have to worry about the bases as much. It's more about controlling the aspects of the map next to the hills that you need to capture.
Battle rifle grabs quickly here, and that BR is going to transfer into a Ghost immediately. And now you have 2 Ghosts on the side of Team Accelerate. As much as we've been talking about how much value you can get out of the Ghost and how powerful they are on the map, to have two on your side must be crazy. Even hopping out of the Ghost to finish him off with the nades and the PR, and then changing it into a sniper already on the Scarab side of the map. Team Accelerate getting map control early, and that's going to convert to a C and A grab. Just one more left to get a point on the board.
Yeah, Boom's in a really powerful position by Scarab, right? You have high ground, you can see into B, and you have a sniper to work with. He's responsible for taking down this Warhog right here, and he'll do just that, getting it down to one shot, and his teammate picks up the rest. Great start from Team Accelerate. As you see, Carson also got the Banshee, and he has sole air control. So right now, you see how everyone's positioned on that map. They have clear advantages at the moment.
Looks like that Warthog getting way too close to that player right there. The player just jumps right into the passenger side. They have to hop out, get a couple of melees in, but that's going to work out. And mind you, Team Accelerate already had the AC hold, and now they're moving into Bravo, struggling to get those last few seconds in as they climb up and then getting knocked right back down here. Bravo being fought over well by both teams, but it looks like Team Breaker that not only able to weather the storm on the Bravo side, but even able to slow them down and take Charlie at the same time. Well played by Team Breaker, but they still need to defend. They still need to clear Team Accelerate out.
Yeah, a little tough right there for Carson in the sky, right? He's doing a great job, but hitting the environment a little bit too much does damage to your vehicle, and he clips on top of the map for just half a second. It does just enough damage to make his Banshee go into determination mode, and unfortunately, that's going to reduce the cover in the air that Team Accelerate had, and now it feels more of a 50-50 fight coming into this mid-game.
Gotta love the Hydra action. We talk about the Hydra being used as an anti-vehicle weapon, but even being used against Spartans as well. It must be so painful to have to deal with the Hydra as you try to capture these bases. And if you happen to hunker down and try to double or triple capture, those explosions are coming in, put everybody down to one shot, and you're just easy pickings for the enemy team. So you got to be careful and respect the explosive power of the Hydra, whether you're in a vehicle or not.
Those sniper shots can absolutely ruin your Banshee play, so I think it's very important on this map to keep your Banshee a little bit lower. Use those rocks as natural cover for those sniper shots, because you give a sniper just 1 second too many, they're gonna put two snipe shots in you and put your Banshee in termination mode.
Alpha almost taken once again here by Team Accelerate. Team Breaker have been able to break out of their spawn time and time again and get the kills that they've been looking for here. But once Team Accelerate get that control, it makes it really hard for Team Breaker to make anything happen. The speed in which Team Accelerate play at, and always accelerating, always in your face. It seems like Team Breaker aren't really a fan of it when it comes to total control, because it really works in Team Accelerate's favor. I feel like we saw the same thing in the winners bracket round 2 matchup that we're seeing right here, where most of the time the Team Accelerate have that control that you want to see.
Yeah, they've been really forward on this map. Onboard gets that Banshee, and I don't think those sniper shots connected. That might be some big misses. Finally able to get those shots in, and you can see 2 sniper shots is all that's needed. That Banshee will have to exit the skies.
All right, Team Breaker and Drift getting value out of the sniper rifle, going up against that Banshee, and now we see another Banshee take to the skies here for Team Accelerate. This time it's going to be Carson Lutz, and we've seen him time and time again how well he can play with that Banshee. Everybody on Team Breaker are looking to try to shred him out of the skies, but using those rocks as that cover, like you mentioned before, avoiding as much damage as possible, and now starting to send that damage right back at Team Breaker, as Lore going to be the first victim of Carson's Banshee.
Carson's doing his best to survive right now. He's taking damage left and right, but he's still flying. He still has 2 wings, finally taken out, but not before he takes Magico with him. And Team Accelerate, they're just a tick away. Unfortunately, it's being fought heavily for, but it looks like Team Accelerate is gonna punch through. Drift at the last second cannot stop it, and that's gonna be the first point on board for Team Accelerate.
Team Accelerate striking first here, and the way they've been able to dominate the game so far, I feel like there's really no surprise there. And when it comes to aggression and map control, it's been Team Accelerate all day long. Oh my gosh, the Stalker Rifle connecting onto Lore right there. As we look around here, we see Team Accelerate focusing on the C side. That should be stolen here very soon. That's going to be Team Accelerate awarded that one. They're also making a push over toward the Bravo side. Meanwhile, Team Breaker only able to put pressure onto Alpha. It's not going to be enough, because eventually if Team Accelerate take 2 and they get the kills that they're looking for, it will turn to 3 real quick. Team Breaker gonna have to make something happen here.
Team Breaker was able to find a solution towards C right away, neutralizing and taking it over at the moment. Oh, it gets scary sometimes when you see those ghosts come at you. And a little bit of a unique situation right there when you're hopping on that ghost to basically take it over. You can eat a rocket if you're on the right side of it. So whoever's driving the ghost, the player who's driving it won't take team damage on the vehicle itself. So you can shoot a rocket at your teammate, get rid of the player that's trying to hijack you. A little bit of an interesting tech that we saw right there.
Camouflage being grabbed here for Team Breaker. Having 2 vehicles in front of him, one the Banshee and one the Ghost. Gets the back smack onto far side, and look at the slays hit the screen courtesy of Team Breaker. That's going to be well as they push over towards Bravo. Looks like there's only one more player that sneaks in to try to stop it from happening. Somehow, Isify, it's a kill-tacular on screen on the kill feed there. And with that, Team Breaker able to steal their first capture here. We are tied up at 1 apiece, courtesy of Isify's kill tag.
Yeah, I mean, just a well-placed grenade. Everyone from Team Accelerate was trying to get into that hill, but 2 sticky grenades go down, and it's enough to absolutely eviscerate anyone that tried to get forward. Gives them 5 kills in succession for that kill-tacular, and ties up this game at 1 apiece.
Carson Lutz doing everything he can to stay alive here on the Scarab side. Love the target prioritization out of Exo. Dark couldn't quite find the kill, so he changed right to 1. Meanwhile, Magical earns himself an overkill off the screen. Team Breaker getting multi-kill after multi-kill, and that's going to be bad for Team Accelerate. They might have gotten the first capture here in the game, but the bounce back that we're seeing out of Team Breaker is masterful. Team Accelerate, they need some kind of swing. They need to swing things back in their favor. Otherwise, it's going to be Team Breaker taking the lead.
Well, back to the skies. The Hydra shot goes up high, and we'll see if it eventually wraps back. 1 Banshee already down. Now it looks like Team Breaker's Banshee will be the one that reigns supreme.
Banshee in the skies taking very little damage. There we go. Finally, that damage is coming right back at him. You can't let that Banshee just sit there. And, of course, the signature landing right out of that Banshee as it's about to blow up. Team Accelerate were able to weather the storm and get Alpha and Charlie at the same time, but looks like Team Breaker already working after Charlie once again. Sitting up high with the Stalker Rifle could be huge for Team Accelerate. Hopefully that Warthog isn't going to fight back much, but it looks like he's aggressive. He's the one chasing the Warthog down. There we go. There we go.
Well, Drunk gets the kill, but I mean, all the kills have been going in favor of Team Breaker. They're just a tick away, and look at all the red players. It's Drunk, the player that made the last-second heroics, who's trying to stop C. He will neutralize, but there's just no one there. Look at the horde of players from Team Breaker that hunt him down, and now it's going to be up to Unique over at A to withstand any sort of pressure from Accelerate. Accelerate's trying his best to get there in time, but I have imagined he's gonna get just melted right away. And yep, there we see it. Team Breaker, those string of kills are gonna give them a lead in this game, 2-1.
They say it's those who laugh last, laugh best, and Team Breaker may not have started off hot, but man, they come out of nowhere with a 2-1 lead in 5 minutes on the clock, where once all the pressure was on Team Breaker, now it's right back on Team Accelerate. Plenty of time for them to mount, a double cap turned into a trip cap, but easier said than done when Team Breaker started to win some of these individual battles, even started to win some of these team battles as well, was started to take control. Team Accelerate, look at it, they're kind of stuck on their spawn here. Meanwhile, Team Breaker already working after Charlie and Alpha, now working after Bravo as well. The backsmack coming in on a drift for the double kill, going in for the triple kill, and that's gonna be it. Team Breaker breaking Accelerate's back on that one. What a fast recap coming in as they just literally kept accelerating on a spawn cycle over onto their side of the map towards the end game.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal control from them at the end. When they started to get the map, they just didn't let it up, showing how things can spiral out of control and total control, just because you don't have to control the entire map, right? You just have to take sections of the map. And so far they were effective, and it started out great for Team Accelerate, right? But they just weren't able to keep it going, and well, unfortunately, time comes in favor of this Team Breaker roster, and the Latin Americans look just, I mean, phenomenal at Big Team Battle today.
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible watching them, and eventually, you know, the whole strategy of keeping Isify out of the Banshee eventually, I guess, stopped working, because eventually Isify found himself a Banshee, found himself in there, and also on top of that kill tap, that overkill from Magico, like that's incredible play coming out of Team Breaker, and to do it against some of the best players in the world, you know, like some of the professional players that we have from the native Reds, you know, on the Envoys, the Bones, and even Accelerate, who's damn good himself. It's not easy, and Team Breaker at times making it look easy with the amount of kills they were able to get.
They were, you know, hey, there's pros on the side of Team Accelerate, but yeah, I mean, Team Breaker, they got some shooters themselves, right? Players like Drift are incredible at the game, and I think we've seen some of their utility BTB players have had a little bit more of an impact with players like Icy using that Banshee so effectively, getting in those ghosts. I feel like we've seen just a little bit more control of the power vehicles in the game.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. I've been talking about the Banshee a lot, but we gotta talk about that Ghost. Oh my gosh, that Ghost is so tough to deal with, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been loving this tournament so much. I have a bad habit of like watching pro tournaments and like casting pro tournaments and then thinking I can go in and do the same thing as what I'm seeing. So tonight, at some point, I'm gonna jump on Big Team Battle, and I'm gonna absolutely embarrass myself, because I'm gonna try to do everything that I'm seeing Isify do. I'm gonna try to do everything that I'm seeing Manny and the rest of them do, and I'm gonna fail miserably, most likely.
Right. I feel like the BTB kids have a phenomenal sense of what they can and can't get away with, right? I feel like we've seen them so often know how many shots the Ghost can take, how many shots the Banshee can take, and know when to leave and when to fight. And it's almost like it's the same fundamentals that build great competitive 4v4 Halo that's being used in Big Team Battle, right? Understanding your life, understanding the impact you have, knowing what position to be in. And I think we've seen masterful control of that with players like Icy, players like Accelerate, Extreme Breaker. They have a really great understanding of the do's and don'ts of, you know, basic fundamental Halo, and then extrapolating that into, you know, the foundation of Big Team Battle has created some deadly players.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, so far has been an amazing series, an amazing tournament so far as a whole. Game number 1 did end in a tie. Moving into total control was Breaker that started off the game 0-1, somehow put 3 consecutive captures, including one of the fastest ones that we've seen so far in total control in that 3rd one. And now we have a 1-0 lead for Team Breaker. Going into this game 3, I feel like Team Accelerate have to make something happen. They literally have to treat this game 3 as if it's a game 5. They have to fight back. Otherwise, you give Team Breaker any kind of momentum like they've shown all tournament long, and they will simply run over you.
Yeah, it almost feels very momentum based with them, right? Like sometimes they're a little bit slow to come out the gate, but once they get going, I don't think anyone can stop them. Or sometimes they go super hot, but then can run a little bit cold and let teams come back in. Remember that Slayer from round 1 where they started off 24-3, I think was the start of that game, but then the game finishes 100-95, right? And they lost the lead for a little bit there. I think they're going to be very momentum based in the series.
Going through a little bit of technical difficulties right now, waiting for the lobby to form, and so far, is there any player on either one of the teams that you know, I'm gonna make you pick a player on both teams. one player that you're watching out for that's going to be kind of the X factor. Anytime in 4v4 gameplay, when you think of man, you think of one of the ultimate X factors in the game with the ways they were to affect it. Who's going to be your two X factors, one on the side of Breaker and then one on the side of the Team Accelerate?
Well, I think what we know what to expect of like players like Breaker, Accelerate, Icy, right? We talked about them. We know what to expect from them. I think it's up to the pro players on both sides. I'm going to go with Drift and Druck from both of these teams. I think Druck was making insane plays to help save his team. I think if they can play around Druck a little bit more this time, they're going to have success. But it was the last play of the game from Drift that I think really was like, oh wow, this is like making a big difference. I mean, look at him getting behind everyone, double kill. He's going to be able, like, if the game goes any longer, he's going to get Druck there. I was really impressed with Drift's positioning. He's phenomenal at finishing off the one-on-ones when he needs to, and I think Druck is almost like mirrors his gameplay one-to-one in a certain sense, where whichever player's having that better game might just tip the scales for their team instead.
Does it make you less confident within Team Accelerate? The fact that they already lost an earlier matchup. You had Team Breaker that already 2-1 them in the winners bracket in round 2. Are you any less confident in Team Accelerate as now you see them down, I guess 0-1-1 right now, and the fact that they already lost to this team, or do they, hey, new map, new series, not even the same amount of games that are going to be played? It's a best of 5 versus a best of 3 that we saw before. How do you feel about Team Accelerate's chances?
I think Team Accelerate just have to keep doing what they're doing and just execute at the end stage a little bit better. We've seen close games throughout both of these series. It just seems as if Team Breaker has the better finishing moves, right? When it gets to the end game, they're controlling the board a little bit better. They're able to trap the king in and eventually force mate. On the other side, Team Accelerate, all they have to do is sit back, be calm, right? Steel your nerves and just wait for the blunder, right? There's going to be an opportunity somewhere within this game where there's going to be an overextend where a weapon that shouldn't be in their hands comes into their hands, where they can steal away an extra ghost, steal away a banshee. Look for those opportunities on the map, those blundered pieces, those free opportunities to take control and to use that as an advantage engine throughout the game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen at home, we're going to find out if Team Breaker's finishing moves are going to be able to fatality. Oh, sorry, wrong game. Sorry. But able to finish off Team Accelerate, or will we see that bounce back coming out of Team Accelerate? This is your grand finals. So far, it's 1-0-1 in favor of Team Breaker, but in a best of 5 series, we know there is plenty of time for anything to happen here, especially here on Insolence.
Insolence has been fun to watch. Just a very different style map thus far. I've been enjoying the unique flow of the game, and I just want to say props to the team that's behind it.
Would you play Insolence in the playlist?
Absolutely.
If they were to add, okay.
I think they should add.
But you're not good with the Banshee. I feel like
no, that's true.
I feel like you're not good with the Ghost either. I told you I'd put you in the dirt in a 1v1 in Ghost play. I already told you that. But you're not good with the Banshee. You're not good with the Ghost. I mean, like, what advantage do you have here on Insolence?
Pure gunny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get me anywhere, I'm out PR'd anyone. My bandit's great, Tony. You know,
but you don't start with
I got things going for me. Insolence is my map. Let me tell you what. Add it to rotation. I'll put it to work, guys. We're gonna get back into this grand finals of the Halo Hub BTB Invitational presented by 7-Eleven Canada. Any moment, we're gonna go to a quick break. When we're back, Game 3 will be on its way.
Hey, what are they doing?
They're capturing the flag.
Come on, this is a warthog. Step on it, Gramps. I can barely steer, and you want me to go faster?
Last I checked, capturing the flag requires them to be going the right way.
Clearly, they're playing it safe.
You know what? You've convinced me. I'll trust them.
I can't believe you trusted me to drive. I don't trust anyone. Hello? Who dis?
Hey, Nick, sorry to call while you're winning, but I think I forgot my nades in your car. If you could just drop those off, before scoring, that'd be great.
Win? What?
welcome back to our grand finals. Game 3 is here, and it's going to be Slayer on Insolence as our game 3. I'm Tools. Joined with me is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Tony. Y'all know him, y'all love him, as we love the teams that are competing in today's competition.
I'm not reckless nowadays. I feel like I need to change my gamer tag. Like back in the day, I was reckless. I just run in and challenge everything. Now I feel like I'm much more methodical with my gameplay. Like why not be camping now or something? Why not be running away from every gunfight?
Why not be cautious, bro? Why not? You know. See, sniper already in the early hands, and I love this position over by the down scarab. I think you just get a little bit more elevation here to take down some players and drift. I mean, we talked about him being an X factor, and so far I think he's gotten some great headshots to help forward his team on the map. Now, one thing we will see is if there are dynamic spawns on this map, because look at how far up Team Breaker is. Is Team Accelerate eventually going to spawn out, or can they withstand this pressure?
Early lead here for Team Breaker, but not much just yet. The sniper can definitely open up the entire map here. As you see Team Breaker sending multiple members over toward the left-hand side. I see Lure, Magico, and Aid, bro, working together. Carson Loot all the way on top of the map and just barely missing out on the long-range S7 shots to take him down, but a couple of shots in, he wants to reposition, doesn't want to stay in one position too long, otherwise making himself an easy target for Team Accelerate to not only kill him, but to steal that sniper for themselves.
Going down, this Warhawk doing a lot of damage, but Drift able to take down the driver, and the vehicle will be rendered useless in just a little bit of time. Drift having a great start to this game, but Team Accelerate still have this lead 20-15 at the moment. But anything can change at any moment in Slayer. Really, it's going to come down to one big moment where you see something pulled away, where you get like some sort of control that the other team doesn't have, and things can just spiral from there.
4-kill game, making a 5-kill game back in favor of Team Accelerate, and now we see that BR and sniper combo, but only one shot in the sniper rifle as he's chasing down the Ghost. And once again, we are seeing how strong these vehicles here on this map of Insolence, whether it's a Warthog, Ghost, or Banshee, if you're not able to control the vehicles, you are going to have a tough time, and Team Breaker finding that out the hard way.
I think this has been a great vehicle map. I think this is where we're starting to see the true charm of this map. You know, with no objective to dictate the pace of where you have to be, you're starting to see these vehicles really roam in packs, and they're starting to put in a lot of work on this. And what was just a 4 or 5 kill game has now spiraled into a 14 kill lead for Team Accelerate.
And normally it's Team Breaker, the ones that get on these crazy starts. Like back in the winners bracket round 2, it was Team Breaker that started off with a 23-4 run against Team Accelerate. Even the losers, I'm sorry, even in the winners bracket winners final, excuse me, it was a 22-8 run that Team Breaker starts with. Normally Team Breaker and the Slayers that start off in this dominant way, but this time it's Team Accelerate that are keeping that pressure on them. The question now becomes, can you hold on to this lead, which is easier said than done once those power weapons start to come into play, once those vehicles start to come back off the spawn, and Team Breaker have another chance to fight back.
Great shots, active, able to find this kill, and with a 20 kill lead like they have right now, you have to figure it's all about just making sure you don't overextend, you don't give them anything too much. And on the other side, Isify needs to make an impact, right? With this Banshee, you have to be able to kill the other Banshee that Carson's controlling at the moment, and use this Banshee for some strafing runs that'll really help your team push forward out of the base.
So far, Isify, good cover being used here for this Banshee, just waiting for the right time, and there it is. The first few shots going for Isify, avoids the big missile coming back in return, and now wants to get aggressive, wants to take out this Banshee from Team Accelerate while also keeping as much health as possible on his own, and that's why you see him continuously using the cover.
Trying to find his way. And it's unfortunate he hasn't really been able to push forward, because it's more important for him to stay alive necessarily than to go and get these big flashy kills, right? It's not necessarily important for him to to get these kills right away. If he can stay alive with that Banshee while only having possession of it, that makes a difference maker. But boom, is going to be able to shut that down with some well-placed sniper shots, and suddenly Team Breaker, things are looking a little bit bleak for them. Now at what was 20, it keeps growing.
And for the first time, we were seeing Team Breaker really start to struggle here on a Slayer. Like normally they're the dominant Slayers, and it's a 62-36 rundown coming from Team Accelerate, and things are getting a little bit out of hand. Like if Team Breaker are gonna somehow try to claw their way back into it, they gotta get them those ghost control. They have to get those Warthog control. The Banshee is nice, but so far we haven't been seeing the Banshee have as much of an influence on the map that we have in previous times. Right now it seems to be all about the Ghost and the Warthog combo.
I think those Ghosts in particular are just so deadly throughout this game. And you're starting to see another spree of kills for Team Accelerate, and the captain's going to be able to get himself out of the battle for a little bit longer. With the help of Bohm and Druck, they've been able to push forward. Oh my god, look how much damage that thing did right away. That they really did give a nice little buff to the Ravager.
Team Accelerate about doubling the scoreline of Team Breaker, close to it, as Breaker does end up having the Rockets and Magico following it up with a big kill onto the kill feed as well. So Team Breaker trying to bounce right back. Team Accelerate, Team Breaker, Captain Breaker also in the gun of a Warthog. So maybe it's not out of reach just yet. More kills coming in. That was about maybe, what, 7 consecutive kills in a row before we saw eventually a double kill out of Carson Lutz with that Rockets, but is it enough? Because you still find yourself down by, double-digit kills, and at this point, Team Accelerate are closing in fastly on that 80 kill mark, where it almost feels like no return at times.
Yeah, you're just running out of runway, right? You have to be able to take off. Right now, things start to condense. Opportunities start to go astray. Wow, just able to stay alive. Huge live from these couple players on Team Breaker, but the problem is their teammates keep going down, and it's the combination of that Ghost Warthog that just keeps causing so many issues for them.
13 more kills needed here for Team Accelerate. Bohm trying to stay alive with that Ghost, but the Stalker Rifle doing enough damage that should force Bohm to exit that vehicle very soon. 12 more kills. Almost at the 90 kill mark for Team Accelerate. Unluckily for Team Breaker, it looks like they're still with that Warthog. I keep seeing turret kill after turret kill in the feed. A double kill out of Magico, though, with the Stalker could be huge. But we're less than a squad wipe away. And another Ghost in the hands of Team Accelerate. I have to say, I don't want to say it's over, but I'm pretty sure we're all thinking it.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any other chance for them to come back unless something miraculous happens, and for a little bit of style going up high with that sniper. Active trying to do something a little fancy at the end of this game. They are going to get to 70, so I think... to me, that's like you don't get staked at 70, right? What is a steak dinner in Big Team Battle? Like 49? Or is it 2/3? It's like 2/3, right?
Well, in regular Slayer, it's like, it's what, 50 to 30. So at that point, just a little over half. So I would say I would say anything over 60 kills, I would say, is probably avoiding the stake. I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Again, like I said, I haven't played. I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't played much Big Team Battle myself, so a lot of these questions I don't know. But let me tell you again, tonight I'm jumping in the playlist. You guys better watch out, because y'all better find out how amazing my Ghost really is.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal series thus far, and well, it's gonna go one more game as well. Next up in our grand finals, I believe it's going to be attrition for our 4th game. So the first time that we're going to see attrition in today's tournament, Tony.
I ain't mad at that. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. I loved attrition when it first came. Just the whole idea of it, running out of lives and going into that one life game mode. I love it. And it's been hard to implement in Halo because I feel like, unlike, Call of Duty and whatnot, we have the shield system and they obviously recover by themselves. So it's always been kind of tough to implement a no-life game mode when it comes to Halo, but I love trying it out, and I have a lot of fun playing attrition.
Attrition, a little bit of a unique game type to Halo Infinite. Oh, I love seeing the Banshee flip out. They're so awesome. So stylish. I like how the Spartan does like a McTwist, like 1080 in the air whenever he like comes out.
Stick the landing. You gotta stick the landing though. Does he stick it? Oh my gosh!
10 out of 10, bro. Get him on the Olympic stage.
Give me. Is there an 11 scorecard? I want to give him an 11.
Yeah, you don't see that in the HCS. And here we go. It looks like game 4 is going to be going back towards the objective. So not attrition this time. It's going to be capture the flag for our 4th game in the series, Tony.
Okay. We'll capture the flag action. I'm not mad at that. From what we've noticed, capture the flag tends to be a little bit slower than a total control, for example, which total control feels like a lot more action. With capture the flag, it's a lot more methodical. It's really tough to not only get the kills, but to get the kills and the timing right to pull your opponent's flag and get it all the way back to your side. It's not uncommon to see these capture the flag games end 1-0. It really isn't, with how tough it is to capture a flag here in big team battle.
Right, and it's not uncommon for things to end in ties, right? And that's why we do have some of the tiebreaker rules that we have with attrition. So depending on what happens in this game, we could be seeing attrition coming up next. I believe it would need to be a tie to finish this game for us to see an attrition. But I mean, I think it's more like a probable option at this point. It seems like both of these teams are about neck and neck when it comes to flag. Surprising that we haven't really seen a clear team be better at this particular objective throughout the day.
Yeah, so far the last capture the flag did end in a tie, so I mean it was on this very map, same game type and map combination. So I wouldn't be surprised either if this ends in another tie. But we are going back to capture the flag, and maybe history doesn't repeat itself. Maybe Team Breaker goes on one of those incredible runs with those vehicles like we've seen Banshee, Ghost, Warthog, and all. Or maybe we see Team Accelerate the same way in that Slayer dominate the Slays and continue to spawn trap and to punish Team Breaker off a spawn. Maybe we see Team Accelerate do the same thing, and that leads to, maybe 2, maybe even 3 early captures on here. Just because we saw this end in a tie in game number 1 doesn't mean that it necessarily has to happen again here.
Well, here we go, rushing out of the base. Get to your vehicles is the name of this game. Sniper going to be going into the hands of this player early on. It's going to be Druck, the native red pro, and he gets the camouflage to work with this camouflage.
What's more dangerous than Druck with a sniper rifle? Druck with a sniper and a camouflage. Unique, watch your head. Druck is coming. Bencito, you can get it too. That's going to be a double kill, and he's not done yet. Almost able to take down the Ghost player. That could have been huge for Team Accelerate, who are still grinding forward.
Looking for another opportunity with the sniper. The camouflage is going to run out for now, but it's almost more important for the sniper not necessarily to get killed. Oh, that was almost the angle. Magico, I'm going to stay alive for now, but it's almost more important for them to prioritize taking down some of these critical vehicles on the map with those snipers.
Yeah, well, apparently Carson Lutz doesn't need any help whatsoever. I was thinking maybe Druck could better use that sniper to help assist Carson Lutz in the skies with that Banshee, but Carson Lutz still wins the Banshee fight, and we're still seeing Team Accelerate really starting to heat up, chasing down Magico, covering his professional teammates back, and Manny making sure that Manny does not go down. We might have seen a 1-0 start for Team Breaker, but with the way that Team Accelerate are playing right now, I would not be surprised they're able to cap a flag of their own.
Onward. Able to take down Isify, and we start to see this flag looking like it's gonna get home for Team Accelerate. finding their answer. So I mean, look, we're 2 minutes into this game, and we're gonna have a 1-to-1 game. It feels like immediately, Tony.
Excellent shots coming down the Envoy right there. Oh, he's not done yet. 2 more players in front of him, and it looks like Envoy now having the help that he's looking for, and tied up at 1 apiece. Stalker rifle out of ammo. You know he wishes he had more of that. Lord going in early for the challenge and ends up being put down courtesy of Druk right there. Beautiful shots coming out of this bandit. And these professional players, those shots, they are so tough to deal with. The Druks, the Mannies, the Drifts, the Lures. When you see them with that bandit rifle in hands, it almost feels like a power weapon in theirs versus, like, you know, the average Joe like myself with it.
Now we see the Banshees back up in the sky once again, and with vehicles on their respawn, so we're gonna have ghosts fighting each other as well. And really, if you can dominate the ghost control, it feels like that can be the difference maker. Obviously, air superiority helps with everything, and it looks like the ghost is gonna take some damage from this Banshee. The Banshee does his job. Oh no! The Banshee's taking a little bit extra unnecessary damage by hitting that tree on its way out.
You talked about it time and time again, you know, the Banshee's not as strong as it was in previous games as far as durability wise. So when you boost into that wall and you're doing that extra damage, like I said, unnecessary damage, it may just cost you. That may be just a little bit more damage that you couldn't take, especially when you're going mono el mono with Carson Roots Banshee on the opposite side of the map.
There's some great shots downrange onto Carson's Banshee, and they'll come back for a strafing run on Manny and Onboard. Oh, this is dangerous. Down low and exposed, but able to get out just in the nick of time. A little bit of a swing around, but Accelerate gets the final blow with the Bandit, and that means Carson's Banshee's the last one in the air.
You know, you talked about it earlier, like when you're playing like 4v4 gameplay or any gameplay, like understand the meta. Beautiful shot, by the way, coming out of Drift for the double kill, but understanding like how much time you have before you can get down before cover, you know, taking that 3 shots and trying to avoid getting hit with the 4th shot from the BR. You know, I feel like that player went down low, went for the splatter, knew they had to be X amount of distance away to avoid the grapple jack or avoid any kind of hijack whatsoever, and it just beams right to the sky right before being taken away. Just understanding the limitations of the Banshee. Wait, what?
He's trying to style.
What?
He's trying to style. So Carson went out trying to whip around to hit a shot with his Bandit, and then was going to grapple back into his Banshee to keep himself in the right spot. But everything comes with a risk, and the risk is that you're going to give a huge amount of kills over into Team Breaker. I think that was 7 unanswered kills, so look at how fast they start to go forward, and now the Banshee that was left on the ground is used to get Nade God right into the space.
I don't know how Nade God was still alive. I feel like he took a lot of damage from that Banshee exploding. Eventually is taken down is Nade God, but that flag is out and looking to be brought home here. Magical able to take down 1. It looks like Drift is going to fall quick, and oh my gosh, the curve slide on that player seemingly coming out of nowhere. And both teams just fighting for every ounce of map control on the map as we still see the movement gods coming in. Where are these players coming from?
There we go, BR shots going down. Wacky able to whack his opponent away. Manny. To see the response. Ooh, we got a little mangler action. You don't see this every day, especially not in the HCS, but very effective weapon. Also has a pretty good damage ratio to vehicles if you do pick up that mangler, but the Ravager, definitely the better weapon to have in your secondary, which is something like if you set that off for Elise, hey, you know, you'd rather have the Ravager than the mangler. Yeah, people would have called you crazy.
Now, is the Mangler G8 in Big Team Battle? I feel like, or do the pros look at the Mangler like, oh, I can't touch that? Like if they touch it, like it's gonna burst into flames or something. Like every pro in Big Team Battle is like, what are you talking about? Just grab it, bro. It's a weapon.
That goes putting down some great work right there, and well, the kill comes in favor of Team Accelerate, and Team Breaker, I think, starting to have some problems getting forward on the map. Look how fast Team Accelerate is starting to push in as players come in from the rear to give supporting numbers.
We see another Banshee in the sky here. And now we see some Warthogs. Ooh, what is that? Is that the phase?
Yeah,
Is that the phase skin?
Oh, look at this.
That looks
They're going to
good.
phase up and pick up a native red player right here as Druck has camo and flag. Talk about a combination. Able to walk that flag all the way to the Warhog, and that might just be enough to give him a 2-1 lead in this game. A heads-up play from Druck.
That Warthog skin is sick. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's, it made it sense. I don't know what it is,
that one's
but I
face.
love it. Oh, it is. Okay,
Yeah,
it looks sick.
face.
I love it.
It's got the red wheels and everything in the face. Yeah, it looks unique. It's definitely not my Warhog, let me tell you that. The red wheels, I think, put it a little a little too much for me. But you know what is my Warhog? It's the Midnight Gold weapon, the Midnight Gold Warhog coating. You can get that today by watching the stream and linking your Halo Waypoint channel to your Twitch. That is our drop today.
Right back to Warthog he goes. Look at him run over the flag carrier. My gosh. Wait, that was his teammate. Why did it look like he was trying to run down Laura at the flag? Maybe he was trying to pick him up, but that just seemed really aggressive. I feel like if you're going to try to pick up your flag carrier, you got to slow down, like drift to the side, you know? Like, give him a chance to hop in.
We already see, I think that Breaker just stole Team Accelerate's own Banshee. So Team Breaker was on top of the spawns. They're gonna have both Banshees in the sky.
The Banshee playing that coverage, trying to gain the information, waiting for the right time to strike, and that's exactly what he does. Manny ends up going down and receiving a lot of damage. So through the tunnels on the low ground, high risk, high reward gonna pay off as we're staying alive with this Banshee, putting down that damage. This is gonna be really good for Team Breaker, who desperately need a cap, but that is your grapple. Yes. Oh my God! Somehow able to whiplash the grapple player that was going in for a hijack.
It almost felt like he baited him into hijacking him just so he could hit that pulse bomb on the ground to take care of the grappling player. What a play from Isify, and show you how powerful two Banshees in the sky can be. There's just nothing that can contain this thing. They need to get a Warhog on the action, and well, now the Banshee's starting to take some damage, but it's been open air for the last, what, 3 minutes for these Banshees?
And then, of course, the signature flippy into the drop. If you imagine when it hit like a back smack, like Ninja, like the flippy with the Banshee, hop out, going for the barrel roll, 360 kick flip into a Ninja. I probably would have freaked out. I honestly would have punched my monitor right in the face.
Well, Accelerate able to get 4-1 kill answer right there to get some numbers advantage. And with Sniper coming up, this is huge because it's going to alleviate pressure just for a little bit, allow your Sniper to get forward. And now with the Warhog in base, this is a real opportunity maybe to punch home that last flag. There is a player from Team Breaker that is just hiding in the back of the base, but they're eventually going to deal with him.
And like we talked about before, not only is the Sniper a power weapon against the Spartans, but it's really great with the anti-vehicle support here as that Banshee trying to get away, but ends up being sniped right out of the sky, courtesy of Rag Bray, and that's going to open up so much for the rest of Team Accelerate to get aggressive here. They're feeling comfortable, can't quite find the headshots on the Axel Dart, but finds the headshot of the Gunner. He can only make the hard shots, he can't make the easy ones. It's a curse and a gift at the same time.
Left and right, trying to do their best to survive. Drift finally takes down Active. Well, yeah, 4 minutes to find a flag capture. If you're Team Breaker right now, I mean, I feel like their big opportunity when they add those two Banshees was the time, but now they're gonna have to try to figure something out again. This time, the Team Accelerate's Banshee goes down quite quickly, to be honest. I'm surprised that it was neutralized so fast.
Yeah, especially with the way that we've seen Carson Lutz like get creative and like avoid damage. I feel like I'm right there with you. I'm surprised that wasn't able to get more value, get more life out of that Banshee. Woo! Skewer to the knee. That's what took me out. That's the reason why I can't play basketball anymore. You know, I just took a skewer to the knee and was never the same. Went to gaming.
You know, like actually taking a skewer to the knee, I think would just eviscerate your leg. It's just like funny to think about. Nade God has the sniper, and we see the skewer on the other side, but neither of them are gonna hit, and well, eventually the team help comes in, and this flag for Team Accelerate is on the way, and the sniper misses the first couple shots. They need to get up high and hit a crucial shot.
Takes this guys to the Banshee with the Banshee once again. This Carson loots, and this is so important as now the second Banshee ends up being jacked. This one's going to be grappled upon though, and now it's Banshee on Banshee crime, and I don't even know what's happening. Somehow the flag gets relayed forward. It's going to be Carson loots right back into the Warthog, and the Uber is here. It's time to take off. Make sure you tip your driver. It's about to be 5-star service coming out of Team Accelerate, looking to put their third capture in the base.
They'll get you wherever you need. Flaming, on fire, doesn't matter. And he's going to be able to push this flag in. Great job by Team Accelerate to push them to match point as we go into Game 5 attrition. This one could determine it all if Team Accelerate comes out on top.
Wow. All I have to say to that is wow. Between all the Banshee action that went in, for Carson Lutz to have the wherewithal to say, look, you know, this Banshee battle is important. You know, this Banshee control is fine, but I need to get off right here, right now, and I need to push this flag forward. Because at the end of the day, the Banshee is just a utility to getting a flag cap. So great, steal this Banshee, I'm fine. I'm not even gonna fight you anymore. Accelerate, handle my light work real quick as Carson Lutz hops right out, plays towards the flag. What actually matters, gets it towards the Warthog. This just having the awareness and understanding, and the advanced understanding of the space of the game to know what really matters, and gets it right in there. Almost uncontested. That was so well played by both Carson Lutz, but also the entire Team Accelerate roster, and the small talk and communication that must have been going on with that.
Yeah, Unique did a great job. I believe a rocket to stop that first Warthog. Or actually, no, I wonder if they shot that player out of the. I think they shot the player out of the side street. Because look at this, the Warthog comes back, and then this Warthog is what makes the difference, because that gunner was able to take down the Banshee to prevent the Banshee from stopping this flag from coming home.
Well, guys, we made it through 3 games. We made it through we made it through the Slayer. We made it through the capture the flag. We made it through the total control. So you would think at that point it's over, right? No, it's not. We need some attrition action. We haven't seen attrition on stream just yet, and for the first time, we're about to see some big team battle attrition. Gary, get excited. I want to see a smile. Give me a smile. Give me a smile right now. That's what I'm talking about. Get some attrition, baby.
Attrition? I'm interested to see how this one plays. 20 lives, right? Best of 5 in attrition itself. So what I'm curious is, it's like, what does the strategy look like? I don't know what BTB attrition strategy quite looks like, Tony, because you have such a limited amount of lives. It feels like the second you lose control of the map, it could just be over, and you have multiple rounds to deal with. So it's going to be a lot of back and forth. And here we go. Attrition is in. Now, for anyone that's not aware of how attrition works, right, that hasn't played the game type, Tony, how would you describe this?
I would, because it's not quite like a search and destroy type of game type that you would see in Call of Duty, because you have more than one life. It's almost like combined, like a respawn Slayer, and then eventually, once you get down to the wire, it becomes that one life game type. So kind of like a breakout, or kind of like a search and destroy, but it starts off as a traditional Slayer with 20 lives to work with, and then turns into that one round game type. And then also you have the added ability of reviving your teammates as well. There's so many variables that go into it. A normal attrition match, which is normally a 4v4, but now with a 12v12, it's hard. It's its own world.
Oh, that skewer stakes out the Banshee from the sky, and now you're starting to see a numbers advantage being built for Team Breaker in the game. A 2-life advantage thus far, and And like you're bringing up, it's all about the life consolidation. You cannot give up lives in this game, so expect to see this be a little bit slower than the Slayers that we were seeing before, because it's not about the kills, it's about the deaths that you give up.
Ghost out once again here, because once again, vehicles don't get any less important no matter whether you're changing to, capture the flag to Slayer to attrition. No matter what, vehicles are so important. That Ghost, Warthog, Banshee, you're seeing how much damage this one Ghost is able to create as they take down Isify, but it goes on Ghost Crime, and it looks like Rabu Gaming is going to have the only Ghost on the map for now as Team Accelerate down to 1 life, and this is going to be bad. No lives remaining. Now everybody, at this point, if you go down and don't get revived, it's going to be it for you here in this game.
And you do have a chance, right? When you do die, those AIs are going to come out. So if you can alleviate some pressure, push players back, you can get on top of that AI and bring your player back. Unfortunately, Envoy, that first player to go down, and you can see they put a lot of value into having Envoy onto that team, but it's also a bait piece, and Magico uses it perfectly, able to find that first pick. And right now, they're just running out of numbers. Every death is almost back-breaking, and Team Breaker, they still have 3 respawns to work with.
Extreme Breaker is able to get the double kill. Team Breaker only having 2 lives to work with from their own, but as we see, a downed member gets in, actually multiple, hitting the black screen here for Team Accelerate, although Team Breaker just ran out of lives themselves. So as the down starts to go in from either side, it's going to be important. And now we're seeing that red ring of death start to close in.
God,
and start to force players.
People. Wow. that ring just obliterated, I think, like 6 people out. What that circle comes in fast, Tony.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know it came that fast and like that, but hey, if you're on the outskirts of the map, you're trying to play it safe, you're trying to camp it out, make sure you get to the middle fast. When you run out of lives, that red ring is going to crush you.
I was honestly surprised at how quick we saw it go from like a 2v11 to like a 1v5 in like 10 seconds. Insane how fast that ring kills.
They're trying to be real safe before committing to this Banshee right now. What, did he just try to defend it for one of his teammates to be able to come off his spawn and grab one of their own here? Maybe that's the plan here, but so far, just guarding this Banshee. Now, apparently now is the time here. Banshee in play. It's going to be for Team Accelerate. Carson Lutz takes down one in Magico, but gets rocketed right in the face. That's going to be Drift awarded that one.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like, you're doing the right thing with the Banshee. Unfortunately, the player that you found just happens to have rockets, the perfect counter to the play that you're making. And right now, a little bit of a change in pace from the previous game. This time, Team Accelerate having a little bit of the advantage, a 2-kill lead for them in this game. And this Warhog, I think you're playing a dangerous game, right? Because remember, it's not necessarily about the kills, it's about the deaths. And one skewer shot, one Hydra shot, this vehicle could be gone, and it could be 2 kills going against your team. I was gonna say, you see him grapple into that ghost like that?
Unique in need, making use of this Warthog, but that thing's on fire. It's almost done. I feel like if my vehicle was on fire, I feel like my first instinct would be to hop out of it, but through the fire and flames, Unique and Nade playing through it and trying to put as much damage as possible as Team Accelerate. Only down to just 3 lives remaining. It's actually only a 1 life difference between the two. And look at how much space Team Breaker are taking. Team Accelerate kind of almost trapped, almost feels surrounded here compared to Team Breaker, who are just getting every single angle, every single avenue, and kind of limiting the movement where Team Accelerate can play through.
You see, they're going back for their Banshee, but Team Accelerate, I mean, they're just trapped at the back base. Nothing they can do right now. Look at all of them just right on top of each other. See, Team Breaker lost their respawns first. Still 3 left for Accelerate. When Accelerate lose those 3 respawns, that's when the circle's going to come into play.
Here we go. It looks like this time it's going to be Team Breaker running out of lives early here. Team Accelerate still having just 2 to work with, so really valuing their life. But as trades come on the screen, Manny is able to take down Magico. Icify looks like he is in a reservoir position, so although Team Breaker ends up losing a member, I mean, it's all about where you go down.
Depleted.
That was clearly reservoir.
Look at this circle. Look how fast this thing is coming. Oh my god. Leor, you gotta run. You gotta trek it, Lay.
Yo. What?
This circle, I mean, look how tight everyone has to be. Right now, you're seeing the fight go down towards the end of this edge right there.
Fight,
oh
fight,
my
fight.
god, everyone's fighting.
Punch him. Get him, kick him. Oh my god.
Guys, he's gutting them down. I think Accelerate gets the kill. I think it was 1v1, dude, at the end. I think it was literally 1v1, and he was able to get them out of the gunner at the last second.
Wow. If this is like a look at what a possible Halo Battle Royale could look like with that ring closing and that, I'm just saying, slow, if you're making a Battle Royale in the Forge, slow the ring down a little bit. It's okay, but I guess in big team battle, you can't be hiding on the outskirts of the map. You got to get right to the middle, and you have to fight.
And it's almost like if you go down in numbers, the first thing you got to prioritize, get to the middle of the map and just try to deplete the numbers. Get it into that circle, right? So even if you're down numbers, overshield into the circle.
If you have an overshield, just back pocket it, just save it. Even if you don't use it and you die, like your teammate comes in and picks it up and gets to use it themselves.
Your team is like constantly keeping the overshield. Yeah, you never pop it. Like you keep your overshield player out of the fight the entire time, just for when the circle starts.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Attrition is my favorite game type for big team battle. This is awesome.
This is so interesting. I mean, I'd love to see it put in rotation. Has big team battle like attrition been done in matchmaking yet? Because it's fascinating. Like I see in that circle come down. That circle is extremely fast. It's crazy. Like if you're fighting the other team in the base and you're not in the center, remember like round 1, if you're fighting in the base, like everyone's gonna get eviscerated immediately.
A 3 live advantage here for Team Breaker. And Team Breaker, if they're fast enough, they can get these kills, get these slays before that red ring of death comes in. And I guess that's the name of the game. The name of the game is speed. Get in there, get those kills, punish your opponent, and avoid that red ring at any cost possible. Whether it's going toward the center of the actual map itself to avoid where the red ring starts at, or just killing your opponent before it even gets involved.
I mean, right now they have under control of everything. They're gonna get this Banshee in the sky.
Wow.
Team Accelerate starts. It looks like they got a split spawn out. So, yeah, it looks like you can take control. I mean, look at everyone from Team Breaker took control of the base. Now they just have to find the roamers.
A 10-0 run by Team Breaker here in the grand finals right now. That's actually crazy to see. Banshee on Banshee. Carson Lutz ends up getting shredded. They really needed that. Not even just about the life, but just to have something to counter this Banshee. To allow a Banshee, 2 Ghost, and Warthog to just roam the map just seems impossible. I don't know how Team Breaker loses. I don't even think it's possible.
But Bohm is hiding underneath the bridge, just sitting still, praying that no one finds him.
Well, hold on. That might be the strat here.
Let's see. Is anyone gonna look for him?
He's in hide for 3 minutes until the red ring of death comes.
1v12. It's just him, right? It's just him alive.
I believe.
Oh, I think they found him. He's running. No. He's running. Oh no! They're all there. Oh
wow! I call foul play.
Looks like that's gonna be it.
I call foul play on that one. How did they find him? No, they got him.
We're going to be going into Insolence Flag for our grand finals of the Halo Hub BTB Invitational presented by 7-Eleven Canada. So that's right, folks. One last game to determine it all. It's going to be on Capture the Flag today. Make sure that you have your hot meal ready from 7-Eleven Canada. Get the pizza, whatever it is. I'm Tools. That's Tony. We're going into some insane BTB action. Game 5 to determine everything in today's competition.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. You know, I will say attrition was really fun and really cool. However, when it comes to big team battle, the tried and true is like, you know, to capture the flags, the total controls, even the slayers. So the fact that it's one game type to win it all, who's it gonna be? Who's taking this tournament? No bracket resets, none of that crazy stuff. At this point, we need to find out, is it gonna be Team Accelerate or is it going to be Team Breaker who take this tournament?
Well, sniper in the hands of Druck early on. He's going right for that Banshee. 2 shots, making it absolute. Just one more bullet and that thing will be done with.
Camouflage sniper rifle combination. We've seen how deadly it can be, whether it's against other Spartans or other vehicles. Druck already gets the body shot. The second one gonna connect. That takes down one. Magico in front of him, but he wants to get rid of this Warthog. That's where it really can get value out of the sniper. So another headshot. Snipe. As he looks to angle out both the Warthog and Spartans at the same time. Druck is really starting to take control here for Team Accelerate, and that's not looking good for Team Breaker.
Well, so far a flag is out. Team Breaker's flag
double kill.
Gonna be coming back, I believe. So this is Team Accelerate have the flag, their flag out right now. So Team Breaker trying to get this one home. But I mean, you wouldn't feel that way watching Druck's screen. This man's been on an absolute tear. 5 kills. Eventually the return comes in and Team Accelerate are able to recover.
Wow, killing spree and all being earned there by Druck. Well played, but like you said, Team Breaker were the ones who somehow had control for quite a bit. Bone getting another big kill onto Magico, even spotting out the Axel Dark. It's fun. From close range, I think you might want to use like the other sight with the Hydra. I feel like it's a little bit better from close range, where like that auto lock might be a little bit better for like anti-vehicles, maybe even from long range and getting players out of that cover. Either way, Boom does end up finding the kill, and somehow another player finds the Banshee. Team Breaker looking to stop this flag from going forward. Envoy gets all the way past the midway point, but somehow the grapple jacket going to come in, and it's a Manny who steals away the Banshee and maybe the chances for Team Breaker to stop this flag from going forward.
They have a flag of their own now. It looks like they're going to try to take care of it. That's Manny. Oh, Manny gets lucky. Accelerate. Saving him at the last one. I'm Manny. I'm dropping this off to one of my players, and that's exactly what's going to happen. He's like, I'm not a flyer. I ain't a pilot. You know what I'm saying? You got to give that to someone with a license.
He said, does anybody want to take the Accelerate? He says, I got you. He said, thank goodness. I'm going to go use the bandit rifle. I'll see you later. Oh, but hold on. Accelerate not able to stay alive with that Banshee, and a camouflage Druck once again coming into play, this time going after Bincito, named God, with a big splatter. Lore walking out with the bandit rifle. It's up to Druck once again to slow down Team Breaker, who are starting to get awfully aggressive here towards the mid-map.
Druck's been this player that's just constantly pushing forward on the left side, left middle of the map, and it seems like he's been a pretty isolated case. But the thing is that Druck, even though he's isolated, he's been so effective at getting multiple kills, stringing them together, and just always having presence on the map. When you're able to play a little bit of ISO ball, it opens up the rest of your teammates to make team plays with extra numbers on the other side of the map.
So again, for Warthog and a Ghost, or at least had a Warthog at that point here for Team Accelerate. That Warthog ends up going down. It's game 5 of your best of 5 series here in the grand finals. We see another pull for Envoy. Drift sniping him out with the quickness. Envoy not able to get much further with that flag. Meanwhile, this Ghost providing great defense in. Extreme Breaker with the flag, already starting to move forward for Team Breaker. That Ghost has to be able to stop him. It looks like it is. Now he's going to work on the return. Be careful, avoid that damage, avoid that nades, but he should be good. Here comes Unique.
Back into this action. Magic's going to try to stay alive. Magico down once again. These plays, Rag with this Banshee can make all of the difference. You already see him lighten up the kill feed 2 in a row, and he's just cycling through, looking for one more player to take care of.
Big missile comes in, does the damage, but not quite able to find the kill. Somehow Isify, the Banshee bastard, steals it away from him. Rag still takes him down with the Hydro, and looks like that Banshee gonna be no more. Same for Isify, who's back on the respawn screen. Team Accelerate now starting to push forward. Drip not able to connect with that no scope. Neither the Bandit rifle. It looks like Rag does end up going down here. Sniper rifle over towards the mid-map. Team Breaker still pushing up and still having a decent amount of control towards that 50% portion here on Insolence.
He's going to try to get towards this flag, but that position's known. You see Team Breaker already with another pull. They've been effective at getting into the base and getting pulls. They just haven't quite been able to get them home. And you see a Warhog on its way to come pick up this flag. And, well, Wolf trying to do their best to ensure this flag stays there. But, I mean, Leor just hammering down shots, and that one wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. I think that Warhog needed to go forward and just try to find a couple more slays before they even tried to pull that flag back home.
Yeah, to try to make something happen here. At least if they had a trio, maybe they could have make it work. But as a duo, really tough, and that flag will be returned for Team Breaker. It is so tough to capture a flag in big team battle. We talked about it before. Oftentimes, a team can win with maybe one, even only two captures. And oh my gosh! Not quite a grapple jack, but quite impressive indeed, and ends up backing up onto the rock. The environment working against that Ghost right there, but well played. Ghost back in the hands of Team Breaker. It looks like Team Accelerate have a Warthog of their own. Warthog on Warthog action, but so far the gunner goes down for Team Breaker. The Ghost coming in out of nowhere as they look to infiltrate the base of Team Accelerate. Here come the rockets out of Nade God.
And Nade God's gonna open up everything. That Banshee I think it got put down to imminent destruction, but we'll have to see if it's gonna play an impact still. Flag out and away, active, just jumping into this fight, trying to get shots downrange, but I think that Hydra, the damage area, not enough to take down active, so he's gonna be a frustrating kill. And you start to see Team Accelerate start to light up this kill feed, so this push from Team Breaker looking like it's gonna get stifled.
What a challenge coming out of active right there, taking down Magical, getting himself the double kill, avoiding all of that Hydra damage, then challenging with the BR. Lots of confidence coming in out of the commentator, former professional player. Hydra just looking for a target right now. It looks like Extreme Breaker gonna be the first one to go down. Hold on, Nate. Oh, that was actually Carson Lutz. It's actually Nade God of Team Breaker who's advancing this flag forward, and no shots coming in. Right up the mid goes Nade God. No fear whatsoever, because nobody in sight out of Team Accelerate. It looks like that capture will end up coming in. That's gonna be from Team Breaker, but where is their flag? We might just see a counter.
Yeah, Boom getting this one out. Now, the Banshees are up, right? So someone from Team Breaker can try to fly through with the Banshee to stop this one from going in. We do see the Ghost makes an appearance, but not quite able to hit down range. It's going to be Accelerate that goes down to the respawn screen.
Beancito showing off his vehicle control here. Space Crabs no longer the gunner, ends up hopping in the passenger seat with the flag, and both players go down for Team Breaker within that Warthog as we're tied up at one apiece. Another flag sits towards the mid-map, being used as bait by both of these teams to secure those kills. Without the kills, there is no chance we will see that flag move any forward for either one of the teams.
That's tied 1-0 now. This Banshee's doing its best just to allow their teammates to push forward, taking a lot of this damage, making a lot of players focus on them, and what a great job right there. Push that player into the wall, and what a play from Rapu, putting himself in the wall and then activating his strafing ability, doing so much damage to his own Banshee. By the time he gets hijacked, well, it's a destruction of the Banshee that takes the life with him.
and to make sure that your enemy doesn't get any kind of advantage whatsoever with these vehicles. You have to go deep into your bag. You have to do everything possible, like we said, emptying the tank, leaving it all on the line to make sure you have to fight for every bit of control. At this level of big team battle, with these level of players, how good they are with these vehicles and even bandit rifles, you have to make sure that you're making as little mistakes as possible on the map.
A little bait and switch between these two players. Space Crabs has an opportunity to pull this flag away, and there's no one here to really stop him. Now it's just time for the Uber to come. You gotta call him in, but no vehicles there, and finally the players get in position to take care of that flag. That's not gonna go far anytime soon.
Oh, we're working on the return now. It's Team Accelerate, and while that return's going in, looks like Envor actually has the flag once again, and Boom just picks him up, but a rocket right to the Warthogs, and to stop both players. And oh no,
Camel run. Do they see him?
A camouflage pull right into the Warthog. The Uber may have been canceled, but the lift is coming in, and that gets canceled as well. So you know what? He's gonna hoof it. That's fine.
Yeah, I respect it, right? The Warhawk was so weak that it was more of a risk, and with the camouflage, them not seeing it, Accelerate steals it and takes the lead. It really steals the lead after that. I'm not sure how the player just didn't see the camo grab the flag and where they went. I mean, it's not like camo is impossible to see, but unfortunately, it didn't track down Accelerate, and the big brain play gives them a big lead in this game.
Don't judge them. Camouflage is the whole point of judging the camouflage. It's to make it hard to see. It's not easy. Not all of us have amazing monitors like you, Garrett, okay? Relax.
Hey, bro, I'm playing on CRT right now. 20-inch.
2-1 lead for Team Accelerate right now. 3.5 minutes on the clock, and that flag is out of no man's land at the moment. It is going to be started, but gotta get a few more kills before you're able to push that flag any forward. Team Accelerate are kind of on big time defensive mode right now, making sure that their base is completely cleared up before they even inch towards Team Breaker's side of the map.
Yeah, right now, I mean, if you're Team Accelerate, you almost want to focus on ensuring that you have all your flanks covered. You're not necessarily trying to get too forward, and well, Space Crabs was able to take Accelerate's head off his shoulders. Great snipe shot. And I believe the Banshee should have just came up. So right now, if you're Team Breaker, you need to rush to stop Accelerate from getting inside their Banshee.
And with that huge snipe out of Space Crabs, like, my main question now becomes, like, are there any crabs in space? Like, I feel like I'm wondering this. Like, maybe
this is a road you don't want to go down, Johnny. There's too many questions.
I mean, if there's life on other planets, like, are we the only ones out there? Like, or
what is the crabs of space? You know, like, what is it like?
Are they like the pets to the elites and whatnot? Like, do grunts have pets? Are they space crabs? I now have more questions than I had going into this tournament.
Scarabs, you know, there must be some sort of crab-looking thing.
But that's a robot. Oh, well, what is it based off of?
Yeah, he says.
Oh, space crabs. Bro, my mind is blown right now.
Dude, what if space crabs are just like turtles where they like go into the stream of water and they're like just vibing out? What if there's like a jet stream in space that just has space crabs in it?
One of my favorite Pokemons ever, Kingler.
My favorite Pokemon is Piplup. I don't know. I don't really know that many Pokemon, to be honest.
Yeah, you're whack. That's whack. Minute 30 seconds on the clock here.
Piplup is whack. Piplup's sick,
I said you're whack.
Okay, that's true. No. Yeah, Piplup's cool.
2-1 lead in favor of Team Accelerate right now. A little over a minute for Team Breaker to try to tie things up and send us into that sudden death possibility, into that overtime possibility. As of right now, look at where Team Accelerate are. They know that Team Breaker are in desperation mode and will have to eventually just straight line, just beeline it towards the flag. So they're using the flag as bait to draw Team Breaker in, to get these easy kills. And now with the Banshee taking the skies, it's going to be Druck. They didn't know Druck was much of a Banshee player, but we're about to find out here. 46 seconds on the clock for Team Breaker to try to make something happen.
Druck's styling, bro. He's going left, right. He's spinning all around. He found a Warhawk. I don't think you're going to last long.
no. Ragu Gaming really starting to decimate Team Accelerate with that gunner from the Warthog, and as these players start to clear out of the base here for Team Accelerate, eventually a flag will be pulled, a grapple comes in, but did he get checked?
It's still down.
Wait, what?
He spun around. I think the grapple player broke their own grapple. He had to get out of bounds. He's trying to get back into space. There you go. The flag oh no, the flag's still out. Oh no, they have another pull, so they're able to keep this one going. You better keep it running. Just a couple seconds. Team Accelerate head to the skies. They're celebrating all over the flag. They've done it. They've won our grand finals. Team Accelerate 3-2 in this match series, winning the lion's share of $2,000 in the Halo Hub BTB Invitational presented by 7-Eleven Canada.
This grand finals went all the way down to a elimination game 5. Team Accelerate coming out of the losers bracket to make it into the grand finals to get their revenge, to get their revenge onto Team Breaker, the ones to knock them down into that elimination bracket to begin with. And now it's Team Accelerate that are your champions. They got it back. They took back what was rightfully theirs, but man, was it not easy.
And Drunk was truly the X factor in that game. 36 kills, top fragging for his team. Was able to lead the charge, and shout out to Accelerate's play with that camouflage flag. Everything was going right for them at the end, but showing that a little bit of resilience, right? Going down in the series, coming back, and then winning the flag, went down 0-1. Had to get 2 unanswered flags to get the job done. Look at Drunk almost getting 10K damage on the board.
Wow. That is quite impressive, and again, you're seeing why they recruited Druck as one of the professional players to come in. He's not just a 4v4 player. The man is just great at every type of Halo. If it's Halo and he's involved, it can be Griffball. I promise you, Druck is the best Griffball player you ever see, best big team battle player that you ever see. The man puts down damage on the map. It doesn't matter what the game type or type of Halo it is.
Yeah, phenomenal to see just how much fun a big team battle tournament can be, with some of the best players in the game participating with each other. You can start to see, you can look at the shots fired to see who your gunners were throughout the game, right? Rabu of 1,100. If you go up, I believe there was someone that had like 2,000 shots fired. So they had 2,700. Beezy stay in that turret. You know what I say? GG Beezy, getting the job done in that Warhog. I want to see, well, dude, the accuracy has to be just absolute dog from him, just shooting that minigun all over the place.
Yeah, no shot. You're continuously holding onto your RT button like that. In fact, I think his RT button needs to be replaced. But he'll be okay. They about to split that $2,000, so he can definitely afford to get himself a couple of controllers. You know, it was well worth it.
So, and dude, this has been phenomenal, Tony. I mean, well, how do you feel about BTB? You're not really much of a BTB player, right? I know you've been focusing on 4v4 competitive for the last few years. I love the BTB guys and all that, but are you a believer now? Are you a part of the BTB brotherhood?
You know, it was funny because I feel like back in Halo 3, I was big on big team battle. Even going into Halo 4, actually, I loved Halo 4 big team battle. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack in the chat about it. I think Halo 4's big team battle was amazing. The maps, the game flow of it. And then eventually I just kind of stopped playing it, and watching this tournament, especially like from this position, and be able to watch how fun it was. I can't wait to go back in and just drive around the Warthog, because I can't wait to go in and just outstrafe people with that Ghost. And although I'm terrible at piloting a Banshee, I want to give that a try. I can't wait to go back in and give Big Team Battle a try, because this looked not only was it competitive, but it was just fun to watch, and it looks really fun to play as well.
Well, shout out to everyone that helped make this a reality today. Halo Hub, the gaming stadium, and our main sponsor today, 7-Eleven Canada. Without them, this tournament would not have been possible. We wouldn't have been able to see what BTB competitive can look like on a grand stage. And, shout out to Team Accelerate getting the job done. I know Accelerate lives and bleeds big team battles. So I'm excited that they were able to get the job done today.